Okay, this is the 2020 exam to multiple choice question number 20. I've got f of x equals the cos of ax. Therefore, the period is going to be 2 pi on top of a. But I've also got the situation where f of x equals f of x plus h, where h is an element of integers. So therefore I can have h equaling plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3. So for this to equal this, the period has to equal 1. The period has to equal 1 because if I'm sliding it 1 unit left or right and it sits on top of and has the same values as f of x, then this period's got to be 1. Therefore 1 equals 2 pi on a, therefore a equals 2 pi. Okay, I've got to have log base 2 of f of x has to have a range of -1 to 0. So if I look at the logarithm of log base 2 of x, this is what the graph looks like. And if I'm going from -1 through to 0, then this is the only bit of the graph that I'm considering if it has a range from -1 to 0. Which means that the inside values has to go from 1/2 to 1. And the things on the inside are f of x, so therefore this cos of ax has to go from -1/2 through to 1. So if the cos of ax equals 1/2, that means ax equals pi on 3, and since a is 2 pi, that's 2 pi x equals pi on 3, therefore x equals 1/6. And at the other end, the cos of ax has to equal 1, therefore ax will equal 0, therefore x will equal 0. So one possible interval is 0 to 1/6. And if the interval is 0 to 1/6, then when you put it into there, you'll get a range of 1/2 to 1. And if you put 1/2 to 1 into here, then you will get a range out that is -1 to 0. Now, since 0 to 1/2 is nowhere there, then any movement +1, +2, +3, or -1, -2, -3, allows this to work because 0 plus 1 is 1 and 1/6 plus 1 is 7/6 and 0 plus 1 is 1, so 1 to 7/6, considering the slide, will be an appropriate domain.